Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with EE Times, and I'm here with Aalyia Shaukat, or EDN. Hello, Aalyia.
Hello, Nitin.
How are you?
Good, good. It's good to be here.
So we are going to do a little wrap of our experiences at Embedded World North America, which is the first one in North America. Aalyia, what did you think? What was your sort of overarching impression?
Well, it was a great show. I think there was a lot of big companies that are local, and we got to do a good tour of their facilities. So it gave us a really good impression of.
I mean, it happens to be Austin is the kind of like the next Silicon Valley for this sort of North America region after Silicon Valley, and I guess. Some of those companies are here. We went to see, but I think we both went to the Silicon Labs event, and then also the NXP Smart Home demo. Very interesting because when you go to a trade show, you don't often get the company visits as well. So
yes, that was actually particularly great. It was very good to see the NXP Innovation Lab.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of prototypes and a lot of IoT type ideas and home-based, medical-based applications.
Yeah, I mean, it went from everything from, they had the whole... The lab is quite impressive, and they go through the whole house with demos all around. And so, I mean, quite a lot of them we've seen before, and I've seen Lars Rieger present those and talk about the ultra-wideband and some of those technologies and the ranging and how that turns on music as you walk through, or the lights as you walk through, and the closing of the blinds. And so I think it was quite impressive. And what they emphasized was that this is all just for experiments. There's nothing which is gone to market yet.
Yes.
So it's the technologies they're trying to figure out what they can do with.
And that's kind of been a really wonderful thing to see. A lot of the underlying sensor technologies, the wireless, the multi-protocol wireless SoCs. When we visited Silicon Labs, we got to see a lot of the testing done both for analog and the RF side, and also a lot of talk about security. The embedded. Embedded engineering kind of combines a lot of these things, and it's been really great.
So I mean, before we go to the show, the Silicon Labs was actually quite interesting because they showed us. I mean, they talked about the whole sort of Silicon Labs background and where they address this whole wireless and the whole timeline of all the different acquisitions as part of that. But also then we looked at the digital side of the testing of those their wireless chips, and then the analog and RF. I suppose not many people see RF testing labs anymore, so that was quite impressive.
There was
the anechoic chambers and all that.
There was a Faraday cages inside the facility, and they had racks for receiver testing, transmitter testing, just a whole slew of testing.
So I don't think, we generally we forget the scale of the testing as journalists, as people who don't get involved in all of this, the scale of that testing that needs to be done for all the protocols, the out-of-band emissions and what you have to do, all of that.
Right, to be within compliance and to just simply verify the products.
And the characterization. But let's come to the show. I spoke to a lot of people who were expecting Nuremberg-style, massive trade show, but obviously you have to start somewhere, and it's not that. I don't know what you thought.
Well, I've not been to Nuremberg, but I thought it was a good-sized show, and I think that we got a lot of information, a lot of technical information, and the keynote was great. There's a lot of sessions outside that gave you a good amount of information. What did you think?
The interviews I did, the people I spoke to. First of all, the show. I mean, it's a small show, yes. I mean, but I think I spoke to a lot of people who talked about all the right people being here for partnerships, old friends, customers, and all that. But it's not as massive, but then it needs to start somewhere. But coming back,
it might be different next year. Who knows?
So they're moving that to Anaheim next year. But nice set of booths. Had some really good conversations. But one of the things I think I've been seeing from all the people I've been talking to is just the whole sort of 5, 6 years ago we were talking about edge intelligence is the new thing, but actually there's a lot beyond that now, and it's that how do you enable those models on the edge, the SLMs, and then how do you enable all of that? And then big thing, as you said, was security. And then I spoke to Counterpoint Research as well, and they're talking about three things: intelligence, security, and connectivity.
Yes.
So connectivity with the eSIMs, iSIMs, and all that with companies like Keegan. So there was some interesting sort of breadth of addressing that edge intelligence.
I think that when IoT first really it became more of a thing, I suppose. It was you didn't really get the multi-protocol SoCs. It was maybe one protocol and a gateway, and all the information going to the cloud. But with edge computing, I think it's really fascinating doing that processing on the edge device itself. Obviously now security, because the devices are connected, security is very important.
I think people don't realize the amount of attack surfaces there are actually, which is quite interesting, and I've been hearing a lot of that.
Yes, that has been, and building a security up the stack, so on the hardware level and all the way up to software. And ADI has a Code Fusion studio.
Code Fusion, I went to their booth yesterday, and
they have a lot of companies are finding ways to embed security at the hardware and software.
The other thing, I went to the Qualcomm IoT event that they had off-site, and that was quite interesting because, Nakul Dugal, he was talking about this whole AI industrial chassis in different sectors, and they had lots of partners and customers come on, and I think they're really pushing that IoT side now with Qualcomm, and especially with the acquisition of Sequans wireless business as well recently. But I think they launched the IQ9 series yesterday, and they're saying it's been sort of in sort of trials and pilot for 2 years, and they've been working with customers. They showcased a project in Saudi, a lot of their stuff. I've interviewed Dave Singh on robotics before, and he was in Saudi building on their project with Aramco. So there's some interesting IoT developments.
And also a lot of software support for embedding these. Using these applications in more safety-related applications, so use cases, so ISO 26262, and just getting those really those safety ratings. There's a lot of software support for that. There's a Trust and Soft and LDRA, building a sort of a platform for OEMs to get these safety ratings for the
I think it's an embedded show, and we forget that all of this is embedded, but I think a lot of the industries now, everything is embedded because you're doing everything, a lot of stuff on device, at the edge, and all the security issues, so it's going to be more and more. So what's your, what are you going to go away and write in EDN?
That's a good question.
What do you think, what are the key threads?
Key trends. As you were saying, connectivity, security, and
intelligence.
So I think those are definitely the key takeaways. This has definitely been going on for some time, and it's really just building. I think we're going to see a lot more. We have seen a lot of applications crop up with more machine learning and more AI embedded at the edge, and we'll see a lot of compute that supports that, and hardware accelerators to make these applications just more efficient and run on run for longer. There was a lot of battery optimization, power optimization
we saw that as well.
That was spoken about, but a lot of it was also how to do that easily. When you have multiple cores, how are you going to be able to do that in software without too much of a headache? Because the software developers do have a lot of trouble debugging just one core, let alone 2, 3, 4, 5. And so on.
Well, we've got more of this to come because we'll be at Electronica in Munich in November, and we're running the Embedded Forum and the Power Electronics Forum, so that'll be quite exciting as well. Aalyia, thank you very much, and
no problem. Thank you.
And hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you at Electronica.